Good evening. My name is Liliam Montilla. I'm a senior at Nazareth College. I'm happy to be the first to officially welcome you to our campus. The faculty, staff, and student leaders have been carefully planning for your arrival. With all of you finally here, I hereby open the 2020 New Student Convocation of Nazareth College of Rochester. Dear Class 2024, what is happening to our lives right now is simply a test of our strength, to give us the opportunity to show off what we can withstand and more. That no matter how many times we fall, we get up, and we prove it every time. In Class 2024, you are living proof. You are an extraordinary example of what strength can look like in the midst of adversity. Your fearlessness carries through a generation of innovatives where limitations are removed and there are infinite possibilities. Thank you for starting off our new decade with an explosion of determination, passion, bravery, drive, and willingness to embrace the ambiguity ahead of us with the confidence that we will prevail. Where the experiences of the months and years before us are ineffective in getting in the way of us evolving into greater, bigger, better than ever before. And that's on period. And so President Paul, esteemed faculty and staff, I present to you the new first-year class of 2024 and the new upper class students from the classes of 2021, 2022, and 2023. Once again, thank you and welcome to Nazareth College.
Good evening. I am honored to join you today as a new student with you, but also as Nazareth College's 10th president. I bring you very warm greetings from the entire Nazareth community, our students, distinguished and dedicated faculty and staff, esteemed trustees, many, many alumni and their families, and many friends worldwide. Welcome. You have made an inspired choice in Naz, your springboard for life. Whether this is your first time in college or you're continuing your education at Naz, this is where each and every one of you belong, and I am very pleased to welcome you. Here, every person is valued for the unique characteristics, experiences, perspectives, strengths, and challenges that you bring. You will learn and grow, have experiences and opportunities you have not yet imagined, and find new dimensions and horizons within yourself. We are an open and inclusive learning community in which you can explore and experiment safely with voice, values, and visions. Here, you will make friends for life among your peers, staff, and faculty, alumni, and Pittsford and Rochester community mentors. Since our college's founding by a group of strong women in 1924, hold that number in your mind for a minute, Nazareth College has been dedicated to transforming lives and communities near and far through education. We prioritize learning that is rigorous, meaningful, and inspired. And we care about all of who you are and focus on your growth as a whole person. We engage students and launch alumni who are prepared for and dedicated deeply to making our world a better place. I said our founding in 1924. Have you done the math? Yes, we celebrate Naz's 100th year in 2024, our centennial, and for many of you, your graduation year. You are entering Naz at such a special and powerful time for Naz and also for our world. Individually and collectively, you will define the future of our world, a world that is in the midst of a revolution. To chart and lead our path forward, we need people with new and different perspectives and approaches. People who, rather than limit ourselves and others to a simple category, embrace our complexity and open ourselves to difference. People who open ourselves and our world to new questions, new opportunity, new challenge, and new possibility. People who will define new solutions that will help humanity advance and become more just, equitable, and humane. The key to this path is your mindset about challenge. Too many people in our world are afraid of challenge. And as a result, we're struggling as a people with so many pernicious and hurtful problems. If you are afraid of or resistant to possibility and challenge, you're limiting yourself, the power of your learning and your life, and your purposeful impact on our world. And so my personal goal for you is to relish challenge, to be a person who seeks out challenge, to move forward, not away from challenge, and to thrive in challenge. And this learning community at Nazareth is where you can learn to relish challenge and distinguish yourself as a courageous learner and leader. The magic of Nazareth is that you are not alone on this journey. Today you enter a special community that is at once a learning community, a support system, a rich professional network, a powerful source of inspiration, an agent of social change, and a place that you will come to call home. We share a deep commitment to one another here, and we care about and contribute to one another's growth as people and as professionals. We listen to and support one another, and we debate and expand one another through posing challenging questions and juxtaposing different viewpoints. We support one another in exploring and expanding our values and beliefs, and in living a life of meaning and integrity. We come together in the face of challenge, depend upon one another, and problem solve together. We respect and admire one another as individuals, appreciating what each of us contributes. We look for and bring out what is good in each other and in our community. We choose to believe in and build a better world for all. We enjoy our time together, sharing in celebrations, struggles, rituals, and rites of passage, now and forevermore. And we wear purple and gold on Fridays as a visible symbol of our belief in Naz. So today, Nazareth is yours. Draw on the many, many resources in our community that are dedicated to helping you learn how to thrive in challenge. Our faculty and staff are expert at this and will inspire you into new horizons. And the new friends that are all around you each bring strengths that will enrich you for the rest of your life. Be open to newness and difference. Be open to struggling and stretching. Be open to possibility and opportunity. Be open to the discomfort of not knowing and the delight of discovery. Be open to originality and bold blends. Be open to discovering, defining, and directing meaning and purpose in your life. Be open to hope and a bright future, because all of that is what I see in you. Welcome to Naz.
Welcome to all of our incoming students. My name is Bridget Noonan, and I'm the Dean of the School of Health and Human Services. I'd like to particularly welcome all of our incoming undergraduate and graduate students in Communication Sciences and Disorders, Creative Arts Therapy, Nursing, Occupational Therapy, Physical Therapy, Public Health, and Social Work. Our faculty are so very excited to welcome you to Nazareth, and I'm particularly pleased that you're joining our wonderful community. I look forward to seeing you on campus and wish you a great fall semester. Take care.
Hello, my name is Kate Tabalovoy, and I'm the Dean of the School of Education, which has programs for those of you who want to become teachers. Welcome to the Nazareth community. This is a very special place, and we are so glad that you are here. And I can't wait to meet you in person.
Hello, class of 2024. This is Dean Kenneth Ree from School of Business and Leadership. On behalf of School of Business and Leadership, we'd like to welcome you to Nazareth College. We look forward to seeing you on campus. Have a great semester. Thank you.
Welcome, class of 2024. My name is Diane Oliver. I'm the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. A majority of you will find your major in an arts and sciences area, from the humanities to the natural and social sciences, from the visual and performing arts to math. But each and every one of you, regardless of major, will spend time taking courses in the arts and sciences as part of the core curriculum, the liberal arts and sciences legacy that goes back to the founding of the college and remains the heart and soul of the institution in the 21st century. In this challenging time that we find ourselves in, you join a proud legacy of NAS students who have sought to serve the broader society, make a difference in the world. We need every one of you with that kind of commitment, and so we're really excited that you're here and that you've chosen NAS. So on behalf of the College of Arts and Sciences, welcome to NAS.
I am so honored and so pleased to introduce tonight Dr. Megan Tobin, Associate Professor of Communication Sciences and Disorders and the winner of the 2020 Teaching Excellence Award. Dr. Tobin is described by her chair as a highly original and innovative teacher who uses a variety of strategies to help her students connect with and engage in the material. Not only does she work to create a classroom that's inclusive and respectful, but she also consistently includes her students in decision-making and establishes a relaxed learning environment where inquiry and humor are equally welcome. A colleague who has observed 3 of Megan's classes says, "I can unequivocally say that Megan is the most engaging, pedagogically adept, and effective teacher that I have seen at Nazareth. Her skill as a teacher is even more noteworthy because she teaches a wide variety of courses across several content specialty areas, which is quite unusual for members of her department. Typically, department faculty members specialize in 1 or 2 specific areas of content. Megan has taught undergraduate courses in phonetics, speech science, anatomy and physiology of the speech and hearing mechanism, and language disorders. At the graduate level, she has taught a seminar in developmental disabilities, phonological disorders, augmentative and alternative communication, behavior management, and research methods. For those who are counting, that is courses in at least 9 different areas. The other characteristic that most defines Megan is humility. In her teaching narrative, she wrote, "I am a firm believer in the importance of a mutually respectful classroom environment. As such, I regularly solicit feedback from students and involve them in course decision-making whenever possible. Ultimately, I think the rapport and open communication I have with my students is a critical element in fostering their willingness to explore new content and take risks in the classroom." Students are unstinting in their praise, describing her as wholeheartedly committed to our education, humble with an awesome sense of humor, and committed to helping and encouraging all. She's an extraordinary example of the importance of teaching at Nazareth College and the commitment of our faculty to connect with, listen to, and learn from and with students. Please welcome Dr. Megan Tobin.
Hello. Wow, thank you so much for that fantastic introduction. I am so honored to have been selected for this award, especially because teaching is a thing that I really love doing and I work really hard to try to do it well. So I decided that today I'm going to tell you 2 stories. I'm going to tell you one story about how I wound up here as a professor, and I'm going to tell you another story about one of my very favorite moments in the classroom that I think shows what I love most about teaching. So I am actually a speech language pathologist, or an SLP by training. And my first formal employment as a teacher was working in the K-12 school system, which I did for about 4 years. When I was in that role, I was working mostly with students with language disorders or students with social communication challenges. So my teaching there was a little bit different than what I do here, but I still really enjoyed it. Eventually, I decided I was ready for the next challenge, and I decided to go get a Ph.D. and then transitioned into teaching in higher education. But my roots as a practicing speech-language pathologist inform what I do in the classroom now, and I'm always looking for creative ways to try to make the things that I'm talking about accessible to all different kinds of students who learn in all different kinds of ways. As far as I'm concerned, this is pretty much the best job on the planet. But interestingly enough, I actually turned this particular career path down several times before I actually chose it. So I'm going to tell you about the first time that I specifically remember doing that, which occurred when I was in my senior year of my undergraduate studies. So piece of information that you need for this story to make sense. I was a Japanese language major undergrad, and I had not really thought at all about what I was going to do with that or what I was going to do next. And my mom suggested that I should get a PhD and become a college professor. At that point, I thought that sounded silly. That did not sound appealing. I was not interested in doing that. So I shot that down and kind of was done with that idea. So there I was. I still didn't really have a plan. And I kind of tried a lot of different things for a lot of years as I was trying to figure out what I was doing. I lived abroad for a few years. I started a reupholstery business. I worked construction for 2 weeks. I started a master's in social work. And eventually I found myself working at Barnes & Noble, where fortunately they have many books, some of which are about career choices. So eventually I found my way to a book that suggested people like me might enjoy speech-language pathology. At that point, I had never even heard of speech-language pathology, but I did a little research and I was like, okay, this might be the thing. This is combining my interest in language, and I'll be able to use what I learned living abroad, communicating in another language, communicating with people from different cultures. So I decided to go for it, and I enrolled here for my master's degree, and I have never looked back. So the teacher in me would now love to turn to you and say, so what connections do you make with that story? What does that mean for you? But since we can't do that, I'll tell you what I hope you might get from that story. So one thing is, roundabout paths are okay. It is okay if you start doing something and then change your mind. The other thing is, and this is for those of you who might self-identify as stubborn, it is okay to change your mind. It might also be okay to tell your mom she was right if you want to go there. And the other thing that I hope you think about is just kind of take a moment to decide whatever it might be that you can get from any experience that you wind up trying, because you're not going to like all of them, but there's always something to be learned, always something to be gained. Okay, so that's my first story. My second story is, again, this one's about one of my favorite teaching moments. So in my course, speech science, which is kind of a tough one, it's not always a favorite, it's challenging. So I put together this series of activities to try to help students understand this really complex thing. And so we do some steps of the lab, we come back together, do some steps of the lab, come back together, and we finally wrap all of it up, and I make the tie back to the learning objective that I'd set before we started the activity. And one of my students in the front row, she kind of sits up, she looks at me and she says, "Well played, Dr. Tobin." And I just was so excited. Try to keep it cool, but I was very excited because that one piece of information, just that it had at least worked for one person, was really important to me. It was exciting. So I love being with my students. I love hearing new perspectives when I'm with my students. I love when I see that somebody makes a new connection. So I would encourage you to look out for those moments when something new, a new idea, something opens up to you. Maybe think about telling the person who helped you see that new idea that they helped you see that new idea if you feel so inclined. So with that, I am so pleased to send you a hearty, warm welcome to NAS. As I mentioned, I myself am a NAS grad. This is now my 7th year on faculty here, and I have found this to be a truly wonderful place to be, and I hope that proves true for you as well.
I invite all new students to join me in reciting the new student statement of intent. As a new student to Nazareth College of Rochester, entering on the 96th anniversary of the founding of the college, I declare my intention to engage in baccalaureate studies. I affirm that I am now a member of the Nazareth academic community of older and younger scholars, dedicated to the exploration of ideas, the pursuit of knowledge, the life of the mind and spirit, and the improvement of my world. I will respect, support, and pursue the goals of this community to the best of my abilities.
Hello, class of 2024, and to all of our new transfer students. Bubin is always my favorite time of the year, and I'm so happy to share our alma mater with you. Alma mater is alma mater, school we love. Make us worthy of thy lofty standards, and thy noble teachings prove. Cheer for Nazareth College of Fame. Chant her praises, great is her name. Raise her colors, put them on higher, singing hail to the college below. Alma mater, wisdom, alma mater, shrine of truth. We will ever, as thy sons and daughters, bless the mother of our youth. Cheer for Nazareth College of Fame. Chant her praises, great is her name. Raise her colors, put them on higher, singing hail to the college below. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Haley Brunstad, Senior Voice Performance Major from Buffalo, New York. And so, class of 2024, as well as those of you who are in the class of 2021, 22, and 23, I welcome you to Nazareth College. This is such a wonderful time to be here, and I am looking forward to a magical year with you all. Let's all work together to make this the best year yet. Thank you and welcome.